Okay, so I'm just sitting here processing my sunflowers, and so I thought I would show you how to process them because it's kind of fun and it's really cool. So this is a giant sunflower. I have another one right here. I just cut them. They're not ready to be harvested yet, but they do need to be prepped. And so what I'm doing right now is I cut the head off. See, when the sunflower is ready to be cut, it hangs like this, like it faces down. And then you cut it and you, okay. So after you cut it, you can then bring it down and you take off all of the little flowers. So the sunflower's actual flowers are these tiny little individual flowers that I'm taking off here. So if we look at each one of them, it's an individual flower. See that? And so we're going to take all that off because each one of those flowers got pollinated into a seed. Like, look at, right? So we take off all that because we don't need that. Okay. And then in the center here, I have a bunch of flowers that I don't think maybe got pollinated, but that's fine. We're just gonna pull that off best we can, right? And scrape all that off. And then what you end up with is yeah, these are not ready, but that's okay. I don't think they got pollinated in the middle. Okay, so either way, you end up with a head that is all the seeds, so you can see, right? And then you leave this whole thing to dry and put it someplace where birds can't get it. I put it in my garage, or wherever you have dry, safe storage. Safe is key because everything will try to go for these rats, squirrels, birds, I don't know, chickens, if you got that, right? So there we go. This is almost clean. I'm just going to clean off the surface here, and then we'll have a nice clean surface. Let me shake this off because it's pretty messy. Okay, so these are a big mess, but that's okay. Okay, so there's the head, all clean, and that's one that's not clean yet. I'll do that later. And then what I do is I pull off the leaves too, because don't need that either. Plus the leaves are starting to get sick anyway. So I'm gonna pull that off. I'm gonna put that into my compost bin. So you can see some of my leaves are starting to get powdery mildew. Doesn't matter, this plant is done anyway. Okay, so I'm trying to do this with one hand. All right, so this is ready now for storage. And you put it someplace safe, like I said, right? So that you don't lose them. And then when you have that and you leave it for a while, it's gonna dry. And it's gonna look like this, okay? And if you leave it for too long, birds might eat part of it, but that's okay. So then what you do when you have, this is just a very tiny version of that thing right there. And what you do is you need to get in there and ideally two hand, but one hand is fine too. You have to break the seeds. Do you see? The seeds are right there. Break them out of the head. Like that. Okay. And if you let it dry, it'll come out so much easier and the seeds will be fatter, like literally bigger, and contain more fat so that there's more nutrients for the birds, because all the energy from the plant is going to go into finishing those seeds, hardening the shells, making it good for later. And you can use this to also harvest the seeds for growing next year, obviously. But I mean, look at this, this one flower head is producing hundreds of seeds, and then one of those giant flower heads are going to produce so many seeds. So it doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess if you're growing it for massive personal consumption, that's totally fine. But for me, I do not eat sunflower heads in volumes that, or sorry, sunflower seeds. I'll eat a couple, but I don't eat enough to warrant the amount of seeds that I'm getting, right? So what we do is we break off all this head, and let me finish with this one and then I'll show you what you do. So when you break off the head, the seeds come out, but it comes out with this like stuff in the middle. You see that? Like here, look at these seeds. There's 3 seeds, and then it's surrounded by like a bunch of just crap. It's called the chaff, and the chaff is just extra fiber. It's fine, it doesn't do anything, but if you are going to store seed, it makes it more likely that you'll get mold, because if there's any moisture in that chaff, you can get mold really easily. So what we want to do is get most of the seeds out. I think this is, pretty clean, and I'm gonna leave this here anyway. So I don't have the lawn anymore, I just have wood chips, so I'm just gonna leave the sunflower carcasses right here. These ones I already took most of the seeds out of, and the birds will come and finish this off for me. And then here's my pile of seed that I've harvested, and it's mixed in with chaff. And there's like lots of different ways that you can separate seed from chaff, but I have found the laziest and easiest way is to just shake them. So I just spread them out on one side, and I just shake it and shake it. And okay, well, I'm not doing a great job with one hand, but as you shake, I usually do this with 2 hands so that they're not just all like stuck on the top here. But you can usually just shake it and all the seeds will fall to the bottom, and you can just take out all the crap at the top, and you can also separate it. Let me see if I can do this with 2 hands and show you maybe later. If you do it with 2 hands, there we go, you can kind of see like the shaft starts to fall out, and you can just chuck those out and get rid of them. So what you want to do is try to remove as much of it as possible. The other way you can do it is literally by dropping it like this with a fan or on a windy day, because the seeds will drop down and the chaff will fly out of the way. So that's another way you can do it. Or if you're just gonna feed birds, honestly, I'm probably just gonna take this and bag it up, and then I'm just gonna, throw out a little bit for my little birds out onto the yard, like literally like that, and the birds will come and eat them. I've got little ground, they're like little ground dwelling or ground foraging birds. And so, yeah, they do pretty good. They just run along the ground picking up seeds and eating them. And I will probably just do that so that I don't have to separate too many of these seeds. Now, if you're going to actually save them for growing, I would definitely try to separate it, like I said. But keep in mind, too, like, this one seed is going to become a whole plant. So you only need to save like maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 of these, like 100, right? But there's probably 1,000 seeds just right here. So, yeah, save some for your birds. The seeds can be, remember that sunflower seeds, depending on the variety, I do a mix this year, so I have a mix of colors. The seeds can be black, they can be white, they can be striped, and it really depends. Like, I've got black, full black seeds here. I've got some striped ones. Actually, these ones are really cool because they're edged in white. And the big sunflower seeds that I have are like, they're stripes. They have little stripes on them. One thing that's really important to remember is that when you do this and you're taking the sunflower seeds off of the sunflower heads, you have to wear gloves, because you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but sunflower heads have these little hairs, these little spines, and they don't look like much and they won't feel like much. So you're gonna do this and you're gonna feel like you're okay, And then afterwards, your hands are gonna itch like crazy because they scratch up your hands and you get little micro tears, and they really, really, really irritate your skin. And I have really sensitive skin, but I definitely recommend for anybody who wants to do this. Anytime you're touching like such fibrous materials, you should wear gloves, right? Just in case. Keep your skin safe. Plus, you know, this stuff is super dry, right? It's like, look at how brown and dry this is. Do you want this touching your beautiful skin? No. Super gross. Your skin's gonna get so wrecked by touching this if you do it barehanded. So save your hands, you know, put on gloves. These are my Costco gloves. You get like 400 to a box. It's plenty for a season of growing. Even if you were to wear multiple pairs a day, you have plenty. So I definitely strongly recommend that you protect your skin from the chaff of your flowers. I am probably going to finish this up and take off all of the, I'll try to take out more of the chaff. I'm just not going to do it right now because it's about to get dark and I am really, really tired. But you know, the nice thing about this is as long as you cover it up, you can finish the job tomorrow. So I recommend doing that too. If you don't have time to do it all in one session, just remember to cover your seeds or put it someplace safe, because again, right, this is a treasure trove to critters right here. So don't, especially if you've got, you know, little animals, don't invite them into your yard. Okay, bye.